Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I would like to invite the man of the hour, the MC, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Simon Manucharian.
Argeli Hurer, yes, Simon Manucharian, nem zer aiski sherva handi savara. Nach guzem zer bolorin shnarakalichun haytnel, zer nerkayuchan hamar, որ եկել եք միասնաբար տոնելու մեր սիրած հոմենետմեն Glendale Ararat մասնաճյուղի 40-ամյակը։ Քանի որ այս գիշեր մեր մեջ են գտնվում ոչ հայախոս պաշտոնական հյուրեր, ուստի ձեր իրավունքով ծրագիր պետք է շարունակեմ անգլերենով։ Your Eminence, Archbishop Mushag Martirosyan, Reverend Father Vasken Atmajian, Congressman Adam Schiff, Senator Anthony Portantino, Assembly members Laura Friedman and Audrin Nazarian, Glendale City Mayor Zare Sinanyan, and Council members Ara Najarian, Vartan Gharpetian, Paula Devine, and Varej Aghajanyan, Los Angeles City Council members Paul Krikorian and Mitch O'Farrell, Glendale City Clerk Ardi Kasakian, Glendale City Treasurer Rafi Manoukian, Glendale Police Chief Carl Povolitis, Homenetmen Central Executive Board members Vigen Davidian and Oshin Pirumian, Homenetmen Regional Executive Chair Hagop Tufenkchan and Board Member Nora Chaparian, representatives of ACF Aharonyan Comite, representatives of the Armenian National Committee, representatives of St. Mary's Armenian Church Board of Trustees, Armenian Educational Foundation Board members, representatives of sister organizations, President and CEO of Forest Lawn Memorial Parks and Mortuaries, Mr. Darren Drabing, and honored guests. My name is Simon Manucharian, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies this evening, celebrating Homenetmen Glendale Ararat Chapter's 40th anniversary. Bartsatsir, Bartsatsur. Elevate yourself and others with you. That is the motto of the Armenian General Athletic Union and Scouts, Homenetmen. The Glendale Ararat chapter is a shining example of this motto. Homenetmen's mission is to prepare exemplary and law-abiding citizens by providing physical and health education, allowing the mind and soul of its members with the finest spirit of sportsmanship, and developing an understanding and responsibility, and filling them with honor and pride as they strive for individual and collective excellence. Ararat chapter is succeeding in this mission in every way. If you all can settle down a little bit and allow me to share some examples of how our chapter is instilling its young boys and girls and men and women with this motto, serving the greater community and helping nurture generations of exemplary Armenian American citizens. This is a story that I've shared with some of you in the past, so for those that have heard it before, consider it a bit of an update. It's the story of a young boy who emigrated to the United States in 1978. He and his family were among the first members of the newly founded Glendale Hominid Men Ararat chapter. In fact, in 1979, this boy became member number 35. He participated in scouting and sports, including basketball, volleyball, tennis, and soccer. And what I sometimes call the Hominid Men factor was immediately apparent in him. He began to excel in school, and as he got older, he volunteered with different civic organizations, including Hominid Men Ararat chapter, as a basketball and volleyball coach, and participating in various civic voluntary duties. One of the basketball teams he coached, he had the pleasure of coaching from when the players were around 8 or 9 years old, all the way through when they were around 20 years old, at which point he took a brief hiatus to go to graduate school. He kept his connection not only with Hominid Men, but also with the players that he coached, as well as the players that were on his teams. As it happens with many members, he recently returned to a much more active role at Hominid Men Ararat chapter. The driving force in this case was his own children, who also then began participating in the D-League. The D-League is a fantastic innovation, by the way, implemented by our chapter to benefit the entire community. This young man coached D-League teams and is looking forward to volunteering and participating even more in the near future. He tells me he's overwhelmed at seeing the amazing strides Ararat chapter has made and how it has truly become one of the top volunteer organizations in Southern California. This boy, now a man, also told me how proud he is to see the many lives that he touched as a coach, who are now succeeding in life and also giving back by continuing to participate and volunteer with the organization. One of his players, for example, was offered an overseas professional basketball contract, an endeavor, by the way, which this chapter supported in many ways. And that same player was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame of the university where he played basketball and graduated from. Another one of these players is a husband, father, and the athletic director at Shamlian Armenian School. Still many others traveled to different states to continue their educations, but they've all returned to Southern California and are either coaching or in many other ways participating at Hominid Men Ararat chapter, along with having their children become members and participate. What's more, the majority of the core of this members' circle of amazing friends share a bond that began and was forged at Hominid Men Ararat chapter. I can go on and on with similar stories, but I'll spare you. If you have not guessed by now, I am member number 35. I can't express in words the love that I have for this organization and the tremendous good that it does in our community and in the lives of its members, especially the young and impressionable ones. For them to succeed, it has to start in the home, but Ararat becomes a second home. This organization helps produce upstanding citizens and community members, and I'm beyond proud and always humbled to be a part of it. And I'm not surprised and so very happy to see that among the 600 plus guests that are here tonight, many of them are not only my contemporaries, those great friends that I mentioned earlier, but there's also people from generations before and generations after. And I have to tell you, I'm filled with a lot of emotion and nostalgia when I see my old khambapet, and an old coach, an old teammate, and people walking by and saying hello. That feeling of togetherness and connection and community never seems to die. So I'll bring this full circle and note to all of you that none of this would be possible without the amazing volunteers, but also the generous donations that we receive. We will recognize a lot of our donors later tonight, but please don't leave here under the mistaken belief that we can just kick up our feet, that our job is done. For the success of our mission to continue, we will always rely on the blood, sweat, and tears of our volunteers, but also the generous donations of the various contributors. So thank you all for being here, and welcome to the Hominid Men Glendale Ararat Chapter 40th Anniversary Gala. Before I go on, I was remiss in forgetting to mention the ARS. We'd like to also welcome ARS members that are here tonight with us. And with that, I'd like to introduce His Eminence, Archbishop Mushach Martirosyan, for his invocation and blessing.
Հաջորդ խոսողներու ժամանակ նորեն ոտքի պիտի մնաք, որտեղ լուր մտիկ կնեք։ Օրհնյալ Տեր մեր Հիսուս Քրիստոս ամեն, բոլորս միասին, Հայր մեր, որ հերգինս ես, Սուրբ Եղիցի անուն քո, Եղես արքայություն քո, Եղիցին գամ քո, որպես հերգինս եւ հերգրի, ըզհաց մեր հանաբազոր դուր մեզ այսօր, եւ թող մեզ բարդիս մեր, որպես եւ մեկ թողնք մերոց բարդաբանած, եւ մի դանիրս մեզի փորձություն, այլ փրկյազ մեզի չարեն, զիքոյ արքայություն եւ զորություն եւ փառք հավիդյան սավդենից ամեն, օրնեսին սեղանս եւ սեղանայից անվան փոր եւ որտեւ օգուն սրբո, ջաշագեսուկ խաությամս գերագուրսո բարգեւյալ մեզի դիարնե, օրհնյալերի բարգեւը սյուր, ամեն։ Գուզեք ոտքի մնալ, թե ոչ նստիկ եւ մտի գնեք։ Please be seated, and if I may have your attention for a few moments. I should repeat whatever I said in Armenian. Should I? In order to make you listen to the speakers, it is easier for us to ask you to rise, because in that case, you are very attentive and in silence. Սիրելի արազատներ, Փառք ու դանգաստուծո, որ ավասիկ անգամ եւս հոփելինական հանդիսությունը մեզ համախմբած է այս սրահեններս, եւ այս անգամ մեր քնահատանքը եւ միաժամանակ շնորհակալություն հայտնելու Գլենդելի Հոմենետմենի Արարատ մասնաճյուղին անոր 40-ամյա նվիրյալ ծառայության համար Փարի դարեթարց Գլենդելի Ararat մասնաճյուղ Հոմենետմենի Հոմենետմենի գամավոր փանագի նվիրյալ սպասարկուներ Հարաճ անսասան թեբի հաղթանակ Հարաճ անսասան թեբի նոր բարձունքներ Հարաճ անսասան հաստատելու նոր մրցանիշներ Այս բնորոշումները այնքան հարազատ են Հոմենետմենի բոլոր նվիրյալներուն համար, որովհետև այս տարի մենք աշխարհով մեկ Հոմենետմենի 100-ամյակը նշեցինք, Փառք ու պատիվ Հոմենետմենին, բայց այս բնորոշումներուն հարազատակույն արտահայտություններն մեկը Գերթա Գլենդելի Հոմենետմենի Ararat մասնաճյուղին, օրհնյալ ըլլակ բոլոր նվիրյալներ, օրհնյալ ըլլակ բոլոր ծառայողներ։ Եվ այսօր մենք չենք կրնար չհիշել այն բոլոր նվիրյալները, որոնք կործեցին ու անցան եւ Հոմենետմենի Գլենդելի Ararat մասնաճյուղը այս բարձրության վրա նոր մրցանիշներ հաստատելով նոր բարձունքներու հասցուցին։ Թող Աստված օրհնի հիշադակը բոլոր ննչեցյալ նվիրյալներուն եւ նաեւ մենք բարդ կսկանք աղոթքով հիշելու նորոգանկուցյալ Սեթա Մարդիկյանը, որ իր մահկանացուն գնքեց եւ վստահ եմ իր հարազատները անոր երանական հանգիստին համար աղոթելով նաեւ քնահատանքով գտիդեն այս նվիրյալ մասնաճյուղի ծառայությունը With grateful hearts we thank the Lord for the blessing of this day as we have come together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Homenetmen Glendale Ararat chapter. We congratulate and commend the board members, volunteers and sponsors who work together with faith love and utmost dedication to carry on Home Enactment's century-long mission. Tonight we wholeheartedly share in this celebration with great joy and pride, for your successes are a triumph for us all, for our nation as a whole, and for our youth in particular. Thus, we say a resounding job well done to you all, and wish you many more anniversaries to come. Our heartfelt congratulations to tonight's honoree, Armon Gorgorian, for his well-deserved recognition of lifetime honorary member. And a special thanks to Forest Lawn for their friendship and generous support of our community over the years, and to its president, Mr. Darren Drumming, who we are happy to have here with us tonight. Yes, you may applaud. May you all continue to work together with brotherly love and harmony for the greater good, and may the Lord bless and lead you to new heights in your service. Անկամը ևս ես հբարդությամբ կշնորհավորեմ ձեզ սիրելիներ, երբ ավելի քան 600 հոգիներ հավաքված եք այստեղ, քանի մսերունդներ, որ միասնապար դոնախմբեք Home Enactment-ի գլանդելի Ararat մասնաճյուղի հաղթանակը, որ ավելի պիտի բարձրանա եւ ավելի պիտի բարձրացնի մեր նոր սերունդները, ջախրելով նոր բարձունքներ բարձրանալով, օրտյանը լակ Փարի դարեթար Home Enactment-ին, Փարի վայելում եւ Փարի ախորժակ։
Շնորհակալություն Sir Pazanhai. Congressman Schiff, if you don't mind joining us at the podium as well.
Good evening. How are you tonight? It's a great pleasure to join you and to congratulate Home Enactment on 40 remarkable years. I had the opportunity earlier tonight to speak with one of the founders of this chapter 40 years ago, he and his wife. And they told me the rather modest beginnings of Home Enactment, when they would take home the uniforms of the scouts to wash them in their machine at home. Who would have imagined from that humble beginning that the organization would persist and thrive for 4 decades, and in the process help educate and inspire literally thousands and thousands of young people. And how wonderful tonight to meet so many of you that were scouts and now coaches, which is a sign of what a wonderful commitment the community has to this organization. So I wanted to come and say thank you for 40 remarkable years of teaching our young people Armenian history and culture and language and civic participation and character and sports. I have a couple things I'd love to present. I have a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol in honor of the 40th anniversary of Home Enactment, as well as a statement that we entered into the congressional record honoring Home Enactment on this wonderful occasion. And I also would love to present a certificate of special recognition to our honoree this evening, and to thank Armand for all of his tremendous service to this organization. Congratulations to you all.
All right, my speech is pretty short. It's only 40 pages, 1 page for each year. Your Eminence Archbishop Mushak Martirosyan, distinguished guests, friends of Ararat, on behalf of Homenetmen Glendale Ararat Chapter Executive Board, as well as its members, I welcome you to our 40th Anniversary Gala. This is a very special evening, and we are delighted and honored to celebrate this with you all. As a grassroots organization, we rely on our members, volunteers, and supporters. Our members are the reason why we work hard every day, and they are the ones who push us to adopt changes and to adapt to our ever-transforming world. Our volunteers are the ones who are driving force of this organization. Without them, our vision would become meaningless. And while speaking of volunteers, let me take a minute to say thank you to our fearless Gala committee leader, Kur Jasik. And the rest of the group for amazing job they have done in planning and organizing this beautiful event. And finally, we're grateful to our supporters, big and small, individuals or companies. We could not have done it without you. I would like to acknowledge a few of our supporters. The Galistyan family. Always on our side and always with us, ready to help. We are humbled to have enjoyed your family's friendship with Ararat throughout the years. Thank you, City of Glendale, for your cooperation and assistance during the last few decades, and the UCLA Dream Fund for their donation to the chapter in 2014. Next, an incredible story of compassion and unselfishness. Hushik Artsruni, in 2014, donated her entire life savings of $1.4 million in memory of her father, Vahe Artsruni. I would like to thank Melina Mirzayan, she is right there, for having a vital role in facilitating this donation to Ararat. Thank you. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge Forest Lawn and ASN Foundation for their generous donation of $2 million in 2017. This was in addition to the several $100,000 that they donated in the last probably 15 years. The result of Artsruni and Forest Lawn donation was the establishment of two separate endowment funds, which will help secure Ararat's financial stability and sustainability. When it comes to Ararat, I would like to think that I know its history pretty well. Like most of you, I can recite the highlights. When it all started, major events, milestones, accomplishments, and the good and bad days. But to understand the significance of the organization and why after 40 years we are where we are, we need to appreciate its journey, what it took to create the vision and the persistence to achieve it, day after day, year after year. We collectively believed in our vision. We endured challenges, we persisted in our programs, created new ones, survived multiple obstacles, celebrated our milestones, experienced growth, and then developed new programs, and we stood bigger challenges. But if we should take anything away from the last 40 years, it's the fact that we remained relevant in the lives of our children. As a member of Homenetmen family, we aim to instill the values that have been the cornerstone of this amazing organization. We strive to elevate ourselves and elevate others with us. And we continue to pass the leadership torch from one generation to the next. Tonight, we look forward to the next phase of Ararat's life, with a bigger optimism and a stronger resolution, because our founders' vision and ideals are as relevant today as they were 40 years ago. Thank you.
And now it's my honor to invite State Senator Anthony Portantino to the podium for a brief presentation.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is to be here to celebrate 40 years of Homenet Men Ararat chapter. Earlier in the year, I had the honor of welcoming Homenet Men to the state capitol to celebrate the 100th anniversary. So it was great to celebrate 100 years in Sacramento, but 40 years in the district with all of you tonight. So please join me in giving a big round of applause to Homenet Men Ararat chapter on its 40th anniversary. And if I could present to your chairman a California Senate resolution commemorating this day, and I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read to the bottom. Whereas through its dedication to the laudable mission of preparing exemplary citizens and its many contributions to the Glendale Armenian American community, Homenet Men Ararat chapter has come to represent an invaluable community organization. So resolved by Senator Anthony Portantino, I congratulate you on this wonderful 40th anniversary. And then Armand, if you're here. Where's Armand? Where's Armand? Armand, we need you up here. Please join me in congratulating Armand Gregorian for his Lifetime Honorary Member Award. And so it's my honor to join with you tonight in celebrating on behalf of the California State Senate. Congratulations, my good friend. You just are awesome to this organization and do so much. And it's an honor to be your friend, and it's an honor to be here tonight.
And now it's my honor to invite State Assembly Member Laura Friedman to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be with so many of my friends and neighbors from Glendale and Hollywood here tonight. Before I was in the State Assembly, most of you know that I was on the Glendale City Council for almost 8 years. And when I was on the Glendale Council, it was wonderful to be able to support Homenet Men, but mostly to see year after year the incredible work that Homenet Men Ararat chapter does in the community. And really it takes being, I think, in the community and watching the effect on children, on families, on people who are just looking to exercise and belong and take classes to know what Ararat does. And I'm very, very grateful for all of the work that so many of you do to support Homenet Men, certainly to the donors, to the volunteers, to the officers. So I'm very pleased to be able to present tonight an Assembly certificate of recognition for Glendale Homenet Men Ararat on your 40th anniversary celebration. And it reads, congratulations on achieving this incredible milestone. For decades, your chapter has committed itself in serving the Armenian American community in Glendale. Thank you for providing not only scouting, athletic, and educational programs to the youth, but for creating a safe space for them to express their talents and learn their skills and tools. They need to be exceptional role models in our community. I wish you continued success in the years to come. Now, I also want to point out that every night you can watch the news and see what happens across the country when communities do not provide a safe place for young people to go and don't provide them with mentorship and structure. And all of you should be very pleased to know that for the youth in Glendale, you've given that. And that will set them on the path to a very bright future. So thank you. Now, I just want to say something very briefly about Armand, your honoree. Armand called my office a few weeks ago to say, we really want you to come to the H'menet Men celebration, and I want you to bring a certificate to recognize H'menet Men. And my staff said to him, do you have any honorees that night that we can make certificates for? And do you know what Armand said? No, there are no honorees. He was so modest that he didn't want us to bring him a certificate. But I want him to know that he's not going to get away with it. We're going to be sending him a certificate of recognition, and that's the kind of man he is. He's never asked for anything for himself. All he was thinking about is H'menet Men. So thank you, Armand.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll all agree with me. It's truly an honor to have so many of our leaders from our state here and speaking. So I ask you to please tone it down, keep it down a little bit so that we can all appreciate and hear what they're saying. Thank you. It's now my great honor and pleasure to ask State Assemblyman Audrin Nazarian to come to the stage or the podium.
I don't know who's so tall to have the mic up. All right. First of all, it's such a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you tonight, to see so many friends, to be making some new friends, and also to reconnect with people that I haven't seen in some years, dating back to the times that we would be playing either in the Navasartian Games or, well, competing, because I was part of Masis. But it's wonderful to see all of you. It's wonderful to be celebrating with all of you. And, you know, I gotta say that it takes a certain organization to, I know there's a lot of speeches. I know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to keep it short. It takes a certain organization to do the work that it does, and to also be a connector and keep people through the generations not only involved, but then have them leave the organization as friends and come back again and participate and have the next generation, their kids, be involved and be connected to new parents that way. When I was Chief of Staff to Assemblymember Paul Krikorian, when he used to represent this area, I would go around talking to different utility companies and ask them to come and look at H'menet Men and what it does, and to start looking at what charitable contributions they can make, because places like H'menet Men and Ararat, Masis, and various chapters are the original after-school program. Over the last 20, 30 years, we've been focusing quite a bit on after-school programs and making sure that kids have a place to go to and in between the latchkey hours, and be able to participate and do something that contributes to their growth. Well, this organization knows how to do that. It was the original implementer of that, and it's continued doing it through generations. You don't have to click on the plates. It's okay. For those of you that are listening, I appreciate it. You don't have to click on the plates. So I have a very humble certificate from the California State Assembly to present for tonight, because I'm looking forward also to being here at the 50th, at the 60th, and onwards all the way to however long that I can be in public office and be able to walk also, to be here to celebrate with you. So in the spirit of Bartsatsir Yev Bartsatsur, let's keep on Bartsatsneling our community. Thank you all very much.
It's now my pleasure to invite Darren Draving, the President and CEO of Forest Lawn Memorial Parks and Mortuaries, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. And Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful gala. And it's certainly a privilege to be here in support of the great work of Homenetmen Glendale Ararat chapter and to celebrate its 40th anniversary. You know, it's actually been too many years for me to remember when I first became aware of Homenetmen, but I can tell you it had a profound effect on me. I have been involved with several other organizations over the year that focused on youth. Nothing, however, compares to Homenetmen. Never have I witnessed such a focused effort on preparing our youth to be honest, industrious, thoughtful, kind, and successful members of our community. And never have I witnessed so many accomplishments achieved by the sheer will of countless volunteers who dedicate themselves to the development of our kids. As you all know, by providing access to athletics, arts, music, tutoring, scouting, and so much more sets the stage for learning teamwork, compromise, decision-making, but most importantly, the development of their character. The greatest lesson, however, is being taught by your selfless dedication and your gift of your time and your talents. The example that you set by your actions are probably the best life lesson of all. I admire the work of Homenetmen. In fact, I'm in awe. The investment in our youth and their healthy, well-balanced upbringing, as demonstrated by the Homenetmen Glendale Ararat chapter, speaks well to the future of our communities. You should be really proud of your accomplishments and your association with this great organization. I know I am. I'd like to congratulate the leadership, the board of directors, its executive director, and my good friend Armand Gregorian, and the countless tireless volunteers that make this such an inspiring and transformative organization. I'm excited for the future and all the great accomplishments that lie ahead. Congratulations once again, and thank you for all that you do for so many. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause, please, for Mr. Drabing. Forest Lawn, over the years, has donated hundreds of thousands of dollars, and most recently, $2 million, with which we've created an endowment fund at Ararat. I'd like to invite Councilman O'Farrell to the stage, or the podium. Los Angeles City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell.
Bari Yareko. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 13th District. You know, I get the benefit of having the Ararat chapter on San Fernando Road, the Glendale chapter on San Fernando Road in the 13th District, and I have the benefit of having the Taglion complex in Hollywood in the 13th District, which I represent on the LA City Council, and I have the benefit of having all of Little Armenia in the 13th District on the LA City Council, and I represent this community, and I couldn't be more proud to stand with all of you. Congratulations on your 40th anniversary, and with what you do, the Ararat chapter, the programs that you offer youth. Let me just say that when I was able to enjoy a program of gymnastics as a youth, I became a competitive gymnast, and that set me on a course for life that really led to becoming a city council member. When I think back and look at all the elements that led to this moment and this position that I'm in. So I know firsthand what a good, healthy start as a youth can do for an individual. Everyone who's young needs to be inspired. They need to learn life's values of treating others with respect and the building blocks for making a strong society. And it's a great honor now to be able to use those values and lessons that I've learned and to bring them into public service. Now, one thing I'd like to do tonight is I'd like to bring Mr. Armand up here to present him with a certificate. I know he's humble. He probably doesn't want it, but I'd like to see Armand Gregorian to step up forward, please, because he embodies exactly what we're talking about, and as evidenced by the video that we just saw. Without question, Armand's commitment to this organization makes him an advocate not just for Hominid Men, but also for the Armenian American community. Congratulations on 40 wonderful years. Here's to another 40 more. Thank you for being a force for good in the district that I represent. Shnor Hakalotzion Yev Shnor Hav Orum Em Zez. There he is. There, is he here? Oh, there we are. How you doing?
I'd like to invite Miguel Navidad to the podium, please, for a few words. In his defense, this is spontaneous, so, but a lot of times when you speak from the heart, it's easier, you know? It's easier.
Sireni Gure, Hominid Men Akamner, Ararat Maslachumi Antamner, Kuirer Yakbarner, Yete Ramuktak, Yeset Piti, Hoska Sharnake Magleno, Vorvedev, Unek, Ochaya Hos, Urer Mermage. I am actually honored. I was just asked to come in and say a few words for my dear friend Armand Gregorian. I have nothing prepared, but it's just as well. I met Armand here in 1982 when I joined our chapter, and we've had a very inseparable bond since that time. It's been an honor for me to have been a friend to Armand and different stages of my life at our chapter. We worked together on the board, and in 1996, two interesting things happened. We took a leap of faith, and we, as a nonprofit organization, we bought a $2 million facility, which today is probably worth about 15, not dollars, but $1 million. And we did a second thing. We decided that as an organization that wanted to be forward-looking, we needed to have continuity. And one of the reasons for that was to have a structure and an organization and an administration. Yes, there were a lot of critics. You ask me why? Because our tradition always was that things had to be voluntary, okay? Things had to be voluntary, and everybody had to contribute, and everybody had to basically put their hours voluntarily in the organization. But that didn't cut it at the time. So in 1996, in addition to buying a new center, the one on San Fernando Road that everyone's familiar with, which we call the main campus, we decided that yes, we needed to have a professional executive director. And that's when we felt that Armand Grigorian was the best choice for us. And now, after 23 years, we all know that we made a right decision. So Armand's been not only a friend, a mentor, a close ally, an employee, and a homenet menakan to me, and I'm honored to actually stand here and say a few words for his integrity, his energy, his work throughout the years, not only as a board member. In fact, interestingly, when I came back the second time and became the chapter chairperson, the year before me, Armand was the chapter chairperson. And so he's done everything in the chapter. His name is synonymous with the chapter sometimes. So it is about time that we honor him as a lifetime honorary member. Batvo Antam, Homenetmen, Ararat Masnacubi Antam, Yehpar Armand Grigorian, Apartem, Unenam Kezdeman Enker, Homenetmen Akan, Shnoravur Kez, Shnoravur Antanikid, and please join me in congratulating Armand as this year's recipient.
Come on, let's hear it.
I know everybody behind this trapeze today promised to speak very little, and I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to keep my word. I have to express my gratitude to the chapter board members, which decided and elected me as honorary board member, honorary lifetime honorary member. I need to thank all those individuals that during the past 40 years worked with me in different capacities. I was either a board member or a chairman or the last 22 years executive director. And without the help of these individuals, I wouldn't have been able to do anything about that. At last, I would like to thank my family, my wife Zarik, my son Artin, my daughter Alina, which put up with me during all these years. And every time that I had to stay longer to attend a meeting and all that stuff, they had to stay home and wait for me. I appreciate that and I thank you very much. This year we are celebrating our 40th anniversary. And being one of the few individuals that have been here during all this time, we noticed that improvement that we've had in our programs, facilities, servicing the children. And I'm absolutely sure that during the next 40 years and more, we are going to do more here and be one of the few organizations in the community that we are all proud of. Thank you very much. God bless you.
On behalf of the staff of Home Admin Glendale Ararat chapter, I'd like to present this congratulatory award to Armand Gregorian. Congratulations on your lifetime honorary membership designation. We all thank you for your years of leadership and guidance. Home Admin Glendale Ararat chapter staff. Thank you.